This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. It's Wednesday, January 26th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, Wall Street's swings continue as investors agonize over the Fed's next move. It's been a tumultuous few days on Wall Street, with declines last week collapsing into major losses across industries on Monday and Tuesday. The S&P 500 index fumbling into correction territory, which suggests general sentiment about the market has reverted from optimism to pessimism, and crypto assets stumbling hard, with Bitcoin falling and remaining at less than half its recent all-time high price. This mini crash is thought to be partially the consequence of concerns about Omicron and its continued influence globally, and partially related to uncertainties about a maybe conflict in Ukraine. But it's considered to be more directly tied to worries about what the U.S. Central Bank might announce today at the conclusion of a 2-day meeting. There's a chance the Fed will move more aggressively than anticipated to rein in inflation, bumping up key interest rates faster than planned, and traders don't want to be caught flat-footed if that ends up being the case. From Axios, 8,500 troops on high alert for possible deployment to Eastern Europe. The Pentagon has announced that 8,500 troops have been placed in a heightened state of preparedness, ready to deploy, if necessary, across Eastern Europe due to escalating tensions with Russia. This standoff was sparked by Russia moving about 120,000 troops and accompanying military hardware to its borders with Ukraine. So a force this small is mostly symbolic, but it comes alongside the deployment of soldiers and weaponry, including ships and aircraft, by EU member states into the region, the 40,000 or so troops in the NATO response force, and the shipment of about 200,000 pounds of what the U.S. Embassy in Kiev has euphemistically called lethal aid by the U.S. military to Ukraine. And from Ars Technica, hacktivists say they hacked Belarus rail system to stop Russian military buildup. A group of hacktivists calling themselves the Belarusian Cyber Partisans claims they've infected the Belarusian state-run train network with ransomware, taking out key portions of the system's capabilities and impeding the transport of Russian military forces to locations along Belarus's border with neighboring Ukraine. A somewhat lighter story from that same general drumbeat toward conflict in Ukraine that, if confirmed, and the evidence does suggest this is true, but it's yet to be fully confirmed by independent cybersecurity groups, would represent the first time ransomware has been used for purely political, military infrastructural purposes, the group having offered to provide the de-encryption key to those running the trains so they can get everything back online, only if the Belarusian president stops aiding Russian troops in their preparations for a possible invasion of Ukraine. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.